Flames don't score 12 goals in 2 games in today's NHL.
I mean, it's. I think the main thing is we won both games. Obviously, you look at the first period last game; it wasn't our best. I think they have 24 shots or whatever, and I like the way we responded. Though we played well after that, and kind of took over the game. But I mean, obviously the offense is there. Big part of that last night was obviously the power play. Getting 2 goals there and a big one or early in the third to kind of take over the game a bit.
Your power play seems like it works really well down low. I mean, that seems to be your strength. You have short passes to get to the net.
Yeah, I mean, well, for sure against the Flames it did. I think there's something that we spotted early on in the first game that we kind of translated. But it's a long season. Different teams do different things, and you have to be able to anticipate what they're going to do, and that's where video comes in, or even in-game stuff. So, we kind of adapted to something that we saw last game, and it worked out.
Your goal, you just work on the strength this summer. You just fought off that station like he was.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, the majority of power play goals are going to be like that. You got to be in and around the net and kind of grease one out. I mean, the odd time you're going to get one like Luch to Draisaitl, but. I was a little upset about the first game. I missed one in front of the net, same thing. So, you got to be able to get in and around the net and find goals like that.
Now, do you think your line? I mean, you've only played 2 league games, but you figure you figured each other out, the 3 guys. You know where to go and what to do. I mean, you've played with Connor before,
Well, I think
as a threesome.
Yeah, well, I think we're getting better. I think that's the main thing. Chemistry is not something that you're going to get right away. The more you play with somebody, the more you know how they're going to play, and it's going to get better. So, I still think we have a lot of area to improve. I think when you look at on paper and the way that we each play, I think you see it's going to be a good combination. That being said, I mean, games shift quickly and stuff switches. So, I think we have a lot of depth up in our forward area, and there's a lot of combinations or whatever that you can throw at teams that you're going to have a chance to win with.
It was kind of a funny sequence. Connor got the embellishment, and you thought maybe Johnny should have got one. Is the embellishment penalty for any player kind of one of the worst one to get, sort of? Or?
I don't want to say it's the worst one to get. I just think, I mean, my penalty, I had one hand on my stick, and it got in Johnny's skates. So he fell, and I didn't think. He just stepped on my stick. So, I mean, it's a penalty. It's a tough one to take. And then Connor's, he's off on a 2-on-1. I don't think he's fallen there. So, it is what it is. There was a few tripping penalties. I got tripped a couple of times. And, the one, the same thing as Johnny, got my stick in my skates, and you step on it, that's what happens. So, they're tough calls to make. I know the refs say but that's a tough job to do. So, the embellishing thing is I don't think there's many guys out there that are trying to get penalties called.
Same thing with follow-throughs on like when Connor got cut.
Well, I think the rule is if you follow through, it's not a penalty. But I mean, it sucks when you're the guy who gets the stick in the face, right? And you're cut. So no, like I said, I don't envy the refs. They got a tough job. It's usually you got both sides not happy. So.
With high-end players like yourself, Connor, a lot of times people look at numbers, how many goals, how many assists, how many points. Do you sense that maybe with Connor last night was an example of some leadership? I mean, he got cut. I mean, he just seemed really motivated and really involved in the game as a leader, as a young leader.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, he's a guy that he's got that ability to change the course of a game, and he did that last night when he scored that tying goal. So, he plays hard. I think that's something he doesn't get enough credit for, is he's always in there, and he skates hard, and a lot of times he's taking a lot of guys with him. So, there was a lot of high emotion last night's game. Letestu scored a huge goal for us, and I don't think I've seen him get that excited in a few years. So, it was a game that that you play hockey for. There's a lot of emotion. It's a close game, and guys are really come together as a team. Those are good for your team when you come out on the top.